Hello and welcome to ZAP Technologies webinar, cross-platform test automation with ZAP-FIX and HP ALM. My name is Alex Chernik. I'm a president and CTO of ZAP Technologies. Agenda of today's webinar will be to talk about ZAP Technologies as a company in our background. We'll talk about testing reality and challenges. We'll look at a ZAP-FIX overview. We'll talk about ZAP-FIX for QuickTest Professional on the mobile, Mac, Unix, and rich internet application platforms. We'll talk about ZAP-FIX for LoadRunner, ZAP-FIX for Quality Center and Sprinter, and we talk about Agile test automation with ZAP-FIX. ZAP Technologies is a developer of ZAP-FIX add-on for QuickTest Professional for rich internet application, Mac, Unix, and mobile. We're HP Software Elite Partner. We're also Apple Development Partner. We've been HP Software former Mercury business partner since 1999. We've been founded as an extension of Mercury Interactive Professional Services in the United States. We focus on the HP product integration surrounding former Mercury technologies, and we consider to be HP go-to partner for testing mobile application platforms. Today we have multiple offices worldwide. Our main office is in Atlanta, Georgia. We also have office in New York, and our global operation is in Israel. Testing reality today looks something like this picture. Today in the testing and test automation, we're facing diversity of platforms, devices, and that calls all kinds of challenges along the side. Specifically, in the challenges in the manual testing, we're facing non-ergonomic friendly and multiple devices environment. In the test automation, we look at the object recognition challenges with multiple operating systems. And in performance testing and application monitoring, we see that we have diverse end user base and diverse monitoring criteria. Now, solution for all these challenges is the ZAP-FIX for HP ALM. Now, for manual testing, we offer in testing with HP Sprinter and ZAP-FIX Viewer. For automated testing, we can use QuickTest Professional with ZAP-FIX add-in. And for load testing, you can use performance testing with HP LoadRunner and ZAP-FIX based virtual users. But the most importantly to mention that ZAP-FIX offers us cross-platform testing on the rich internet application, Mac, Unix, and mobile platform. ZAP-FIX is a software-only solution to extend desktop tester environment to test all window and specifically rich internet application as a Flex, Flash, Silverlight, and others, Mac, Unix, and mobile real devices platforms as an iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry. ZAP-FIX is designed to extend cross-platform test automation, manual testing, performance testing, and agile processes. It's seamless to HP QuickTest Professional, Quality Center and Sprinter, LoadRunner and APM built-in functionalities. It's 100% context-sensitive object recognition in supported environments, and it extends application testing and monitoring in the cloud. I'm going to play a quick demo to illustrate how ZAP-FIX works with real devices and the mobile. So what you see here, it's a pre-developed script with QuickTest Professional. As you can see, bluish icons in the keyword view with the Z, it stands for ZAP-FIX. We use an object repository, you can see it on the left, and we use built-in data table. ZAP-FIX is fully integrated with all the components of QuickTest Pro. Now, as we execute script, what you see is a ZAP-FIX viewer for mobile, which transmits just in time, the real-time interface of real device, real iPad, connected to ZAP-FIX viewer through Wi-Fi, and the device itself, located right now in our ZAP farm in Atlanta, where the developer who executes the script and recording this demo located in Israel. So this way you see that we can support centralization of our devices under test in the cloud. As you can see, as the script progresses, it's flawlessly integrated with all the objects on the iOS. All the buttons, values, data injection, scrolls, and any other specific to iOS and other object. So we're using the mobile CRM application for this particular example. You see the data can be injected through the ZAP-FIX methods or using virtual keyboard. And as a script executed, we can review results. So we can go through step by step of execution and see how all the objects highlighted and the result of QuickTest Professional. So you see that all objects being identified and executed properly. I want to go over a few aspects of ZAP-FIX for QuickTest Pro. First, test automation using ZAP-FIX viewers or emulators. As you saw, we can use real devices for our test automation. Alternative to that, we can use either Windows or Mac-based emulators. It seamlessly integrates with QuickTest Professional. You saw all the built-in components as the object repository, data table, function libraries, all the VBA-based statements or QuickTest specific methods can be used with QTP and ZAP-FIX added. We do not require any instrumentation for application under test. So you don't need to inject anything into UIT, you don't need to recompile it in order to jeopardize integrity of your application. We support centralization of test automation component. If you experience test automation team and you're using QTP for a number of years with the sorting framework, you can continue automation as usual. Nothing needs to be changed. We fully support all the shared object repositories, all the data source policies, either you want to call data from external file or direct from data table. We can support all the custom function libraries. Everything the way you used to use today. And we fully integrate with Quality Center and LoadRunner. You will see it later in this webinar. What components comprise ZAP-FIX? ZAP-FIX is based on the three main components. It's a ZAP-FIX viewer, object workbench, and add-in for QTP. ZAP-FIX viewer transmits device under test operating system interface in real time. Object workbench offers test object management. And add-in for QTP enables integration with HP QuickTest Professional and ZAP-FIX viewer that transmits the interface in real time. I want to talk about a little bit about the ZPX Product Portfolio. ZPX defined based on the 4 modules. It's a ZPX for rich internet application, which allows us all window platform automation and specific rich internet application automation. It's a ZPX for mobile, which allows us automation of real devices. It's a ZPX for Mac operating system, which allows us automation of native Mac applications and the iOS emulators. And a ZAP-FIX for Unix operating system. Along the side, we offer an enterprise edition of ZAP-FIX, which include 2 modules. And we offer Premier Edition, which includes all modules of ZAP-FIX. And nevertheless, we also offer our manual testers ability to use ZAP-FIX viewers either for mobile, Mac, or Unix, and remotely using their window platform, connect to devices and perform manual test execution. I want to talk a little bit about ZAP-FIX for Rich Internet. So ZAP-FIX for RIA, it's a QTP add-in which allows us automation of Flags, FlashAir, Silverlight, and other flavors. It offers object recognition of all window-based GUI technologies. And it's used for mobile emulators automation of all models. I'm going to play a quick demo showing how the ZAP-FIX executes against the Adobe Flags website. So, like the previous demo, you see QuickTest pre-recorded script, developed script of ZAP-FIX add-in. Here we demonstrate the Hungarian conventions. This is how our best practices for naming our objects. Also, in the object repository, we're showing that we use an advanced technique here, parameterizing the value of the object property, where it's located in the built-in data table. This way, our framework be very flexible in order to read dynamic values. We're going to execute script, and we're going to go through the test case, searching for employee in the human resources application. As you can see, it's a Adobe website available from the adobe.com for general public, and ZAP-FIX with QuickTest Professional easily identifies all the objects, drop-down list, buttons, text fields, its inputs data, and performs validation. Now, a little history on the ZAP-FIX while we're watching the demo. We started ZAP-FIX development as oriented to the Flags and Rich Internet application around 2008, as we saw the need on the market for sorting technology. So along the side, we enabled ZAP-FIX on the mobile and other platforms. So here, going through the results, we can, the same way as in the previous example, to see that all objects being identified. We're using the snapshot functionality of QuickTest Professional Result utility. Here we perform the text validation, and you see the text been identified and validated as it appears on the website. So all the objects being identified and executed. Now, another important flavor of ZAP-FIX, it's a ZAP-FIX for Unix. ZAP-FIX for Unix, it's a HP QuickTest add-in for Unix operating system, and it also comes with ZAP-FIX Unix viewer. I'm going to play a very quick demo showing how it works on Unix. So, in this particular demo, you will see the QuickTest plays against the ZAP-FIX Unix viewer, where it executes steps either on the native Unix application and also on the browser navigating to ZAP-FIX.com website. As you can see, it executes flawlessly and performs all the design steps. Also important flavor of ZAP-FIX, it's a ZAP-FIX for Mac. We'll all see that the Apple and Mac development community extends tremendously in the recent years, and we noticed that there is no technology that offers such an enriched testing and test automation capability as HP ALM that developed for Windows platform. And today, using the ZAP-FIX for Mac, you can enable testing and test automation of native Mac and iOS emulator applications using HP QuickTest Professional and other HP ALM products. So ZAP-FIX for Mac, it's HP QTP add-in for Mac operating system. It includes ZAP-FIX Mac Viewer. It can be used for web application automation with Safari and native Mac iOS apps. I'm going to play a quick demo showing how it works. In this particular demo, you see QuickTest script developed with ZAP-FIX add-in for Mac. You see that we're using the ZAP-FIX object classes here and prefixed ZAP methods. So ZAP-FIX add-in comes with very comprehensive library of methods. You see the object repository, we're using the shared object repository here. And this is a ZAP-FIX Mac Viewer that transmits the MacBook, in this particular example, in real time in the cloud. We're going to execute script, and script plays back, as you can see. It's navigate to Safari browser. It will be selecting delta.com and will perform booking flight from Atlanta to Tel Aviv. As you can see, script identifies all the objects on Safari browser and performs all the steps. Now, as you know, the delta.com is a very busy portal, and you see that ZAP-FIX easily incorporates all the synchronization functionality. It patiently waits for the next step to appear in order to continue test execution. Now that search been done, script plays back further, selecting the flight and going through other steps. We will be filling up the passenger information, selecting all the criteria for passenger. As you see that all the objects been identified, radio button, text field, drop down list. Now this way, to extend web testing also, you can develop the same script that can play cross-browser on the Windows platform and the same way extend it on the Safari browser. Now that script being finished, we're going to go to results. In the same way like in the previous examples, we're going to use a QuickTest built-in result utility. You see that all the data is captured in the summary of the execution, and we can go step by step to see how object been identified. So the same way you see that all the object been identified, it's our checkpoint, built-in ZAP checkpoint, identifying the object exists. We perform all the text validation. So you see we use the comprehensive number of checkpoints in this particular example. So we validating the zip codes and other data of the passenger. And one of the very important aspects of ZAP-FIX, its ability to test and automate testing of mobile real devices. So ZAP-FIX for mobile, it's HP QuickTest add-in that allows us to test real devices using ZAP-FIX Viewer. Today we support mobile operating system iOS for iPhone and iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and a Windows Mobile. I'm going to play a quick demo showing how ZAP-FIX works with Android operating system. In the previous examples you saw the iOS and iPad, and this example it demonstrates Android. We use an HTC device with Android operating system in this demo. So the same way you see the pre-developed script with ZAP-FIX add-in, we're using built-in data table for parameters, shared object repository. We can also demonstrate here drag and drop functionality that you can easily create script. And this is the ZAP-FIX viewer, which transmits the interface of the HTC Android in real time. So the script gonna play back right now, and you see as the script progresses through the steps, it interacts with the Android in real time. So all objects of Android operating system identify text fields, all the list values, drop down, scrolls, swipes. And now you see that script being finished. We can go through results. And the similar way as we saw it in the previous demos, we'll go step by step to look at the results. So you see that we found a validated value on the viewer and the Android operating system, and the date and timestamp. And other object. Aside from the QuickTest Professional, I also want to talk about ZAP-FIX for LoadRunner and application performance monitoring. ZAP-FIX for LoadRunner extends LoadRunner to GUI virtual users. It allows performance testing from end user location. It extends test strategy for load and scalability from application under test requirement and functional testing. And it extends APM through BPM for mobile. I'm going to play a quick demo demonstrating how the ZAP-FIX work with LoadRunner. In this particular demo, what you see, it's a LoadRunner controller with two business processes developed on the emulators. In the previous examples, you saw real device testing on the mobile devices. We showed you Android and iPhone. In this particular demo, we use emulators on the BlackBerry and Android. Also wanted to mention that we can use real devices for performance testing with LoadRunner. Now that we start in execution, you see that monitors already picked up some data. And here we see Android on the left and BlackBerry on the right. Those are the emulators. We're going to go through the Mercury Tours website. For those of us who are using HP and Mercury products for a while, we're all familiar with this website. And we're going to perform some steps in our business process. That you see that business process progression, we're going through each step. And for the sake of the demo, we're going to expedite execution and go to the analysis. So in the analysis, you see that we had two transactions that met service level agreement. So we identify a service level agreement here with the minimum and maximum boundaries, and we see that it's succeeded. The goal of 10th and 5-second transaction response time actually being exceeded. We gonna perform root cause analysis here using all the reports and graphs. So here you see the built-in graphs comes with the LoadRunner, so we can perform all the analysis. We can introduce new graphs. We can add graphs here. For example, window resources graphs, and we can overlay graphs, as you can see here. Merge graphs and use full capacity of LoadRunner. So using the ZAP-FIX for LoadRunner allows us to true end user performance testing where we can use real devices or we can use emulators. Depends on our performance goal. And another very important aspect of the testing process, I want to talk about how ZAP-FIX extend manual testers with Quality Center and Quality Center Sprinter. I'm going to play another quick demo that illustrates how we can use HP ALM 11 and Quality Center with Sprinter. In this particular demo, we're using the cross-device testing. Using the HP Quality Center Sprinter, we're going to be executing the once test case at once on iPhone and Android real devices using ZAP-FIX viewers. For those of us who are not familiar with the Quality Center Sprinter, I want to mention that it's a great tool, allows manual testers to perform data injection cross-platform. With ZAP-FIX, we extend this tool to perform manual testing cross-platform using devices in the cloud on the mobile real devices. So for the manual testers, it's extended tremendously because we're all familiar with real state of mobile devices, and to use the devices for manual testing to perform steps on the device itself, it's very difficult. Not to mention that we can use devices in the cloud this way, so we don't need to have devices in the location of our manual testers. So what you see here right now, it's an iPhone on the left and the Android on the right. So the iPhone runs locally and the Android runs through the remote desktop. As we perform manual steps here, you see that the ZAP-FIX viewer enables us to perform testing on the cross-platform. So when the ZAP-FIX viewer on the Android performed exactly the same steps as we perform on the ZAP-FIX viewer for iPhone. And those steps perform on the real devices in the real time. Again, I want to mention too that the devices themselves located in Atlanta, where ZAP Farm, it's an environment of real devices that we offer for hosting to our customers, and our developers that record this demo located in Israel. So you see that each step being flawlessly performed on both devices, and using the extended Quality Center Sprinter functionality, we can see what event been performed, what steps, and we can pass or fail them manually. Now that we finish execution, we can look at the results, we can look at the reporting with the Quality Center and take our execution further in the test process. Another very important aspect, I want to show you a quick demo of using the ZAP-FIX and HP ALM for cross-platform test automation execution. In the demo before, we used the Sprinter for manual testing. Right now, in this particular demo, we're playing the same script of the CRM application, the similar that you saw in the very beginning, on the iPad. We're going to play it right now on the iPhone. And we're going to execute it on the two different operating systems on the iPhone. It's an iPhone iOS 3 and the iOS 4. So we're using the two devices, and we're going to execute it at once using HP ALM test lab module. So here on the left you see iPhone with iOS 3, and on the right you see ZAP-FIX viewer transmitting iPhone and the iOS 4. So this way you can extend your test automation framework with executing the same script across operating system versions. So it's the same application, mobile CRM, that we use for automation. So it's perform exactly the same steps as we've seen at the very beginning of this webinar. And then also demonstrate the fact that you can play same script on the iPhone and Android. Now I want to go over the key points of using ZAP-FIX for Quality Center and Sprinter. ZAP-FIX Viewer extends test framework development, execution, and result validation. We offer ergonomic-friendly environment using the PC, keyboard, mouse, and monitor to do manual testing of real devices located in the cloud. We offer test case development by taking the screenshot for expected and actual results if we want to illustrate. We also extend execution, as you saw, using the Sprinter and the reporting, because all the steps with the screenshots and the execution data going to be incorporated in the Quality Center reporting. We allow enterprise testing for mobile applications. We support modular test coverage across multiple mobile operating systems, where you can create one manual test case that covers particular functionality of your mobile application under test, and you can extend it with multiple branched automation modules that automates Android, iOS, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. And also, we continue test automation for manual test cases. But also important to mention that we offer cross-platform testing. So we can extend our test cases and test scripts on the Windows Rich Internet application, on the web, either on the Windows-based browser or Mac-based browser. We can extend it to emulators and mobile real devices, and use different varieties of ZAP-FIX modules for our testing and test automation. Along the side with the conventional testing and test processes, I want to mention Agile test automation with ZAP-FIX. In today, very fast pace in the development, we see that Agile development is a key for success. Many development teams adapting to Agile and successfully implementing, and specifically in the mobile development. Now I want to play a quick demo showing how we do test automation right just in time and in the design phase with Agile development. Now, in this particular demo, we're going to use mock-ups of mobile application to be, and we're going to create test scripts using mock-ups only. I can use for test automation either any file, like a JPEG, for example, any picture, or simply take a picture using my iPhone of the whiteboard and use that for automation. So what you saw, it's a scanner that scanned the GUI or the mockup and presenting us an object workbench that we offer with ZAP-FIX add-in to manage our objects under test. So here we select the object that we're going to use. We're going to add it to object repository. We're going to scan another mockup. And we're going to extend our object repository. Now, for convenience of object management, we can select what object we want to use. We can rename logical names of the object. We can assign object classes. And in the case that we introduce a new object through the life cycle of our application, we can create another test object right here, as you can see. So we create a text field object here and add it into our GUI map. Now we're going to add all the object to either local or shared object repository. We're going to save it. And at this point, we're ready to create our baseline script. So while the developers develop actual application under test, we're going to create our script. And you can see that we use all the components, built-in components of QuickTest Professional. We're just simply going to use drag and drop functionality to construct our script. And you see that each object comes with the ZAP method. We have a library of methods that allows you to perform any aspects of enterprise test automation. So we're going to perform a few steps here. We're going to navigate to the page and type some text in the title field and actual pane, and save our record. Now that application being developed, we can connect to our real device iPhone through ZAP-FIX agent here over the Wi-Fi, and we're going to use our script to play back against the just released application under test. I do Notepad, you see it there. So this approach allows us just-in-time automation. In the object repository, we're going to update the parent object to switch from the JPEG to actual application. And this is the only modification that we need to be ready to execute. We're going to click Run button, either on the floating toolbar or direct at the QuickTest Pro. And you will see that our script is playing back right now, going through actual objects, interacting with objects on the application and performing test steps. So we just click Add button for the new record. We're going to type title here and text in the record and save it. So in the results, similar way as we saw it in the previous demos, we'll go through results and we'll see how our steps being reported. So we perform validation here. It's a ZAP checkpoint. So you see that all the steps being, all the objects being highlighted and captured with a snapshot. Now, a few aspects of using ZAP-FIX in Agile test automation. Test automation is possible on GUI mockups. We offer in visual object recognition through our object recognition algorithm. So, meaning that we're shifting our testing and test automation completely to the left, where we can start testing in the design phase of our development lifecycle. Test automation is agile. Scripts are ready for execution as application under test GUI developed. So it tremendously extends test automation and adds value for using test automation technology, HP ALM and ZAP-FIX added. I want to go over the ZAP-IX Summary as we go into the end of our webinar. What did we look at today? ZAP-FIX is a software-only solution. Does not require hardware. Our customers can choose hardware of choice, either perform automation on emulators only, use their own real devices, or use our devices. We have ZAP Farm facility in Atlanta, Georgia that offers hosting of mobile devices. But it's a software-only solution. You have a choice how you like to use this. ZAP-FIX designed to extend cross-platform, all window technologies, but specifically rich internet applications, Mac, Unix, and of course mobile. It's designed to extend cross-platform test automation, manual testing, performance testing, and agile test processes. It's similar to HP QuickTest Professional, Quality Center and Sprinter, LoadRunner, and APM built-in functionalities. It's a 100% context-sensitive object recognition in supported environments, and it extends application testing in the cloud. At the end of this webinar, I want to thank you for joining us today. I want to wish you happy holidays and a great 2012. I want to encourage you to visit our website and start evaluation of ZAP-FIX. Thank you very much and Happy New Year.